it appears to be a perfect fit for Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. It appears to be exactly what he needed.
It's official. Damian Lillard has just been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in the blockbuster trade of the offseason, forming with Giannis Antetokounmpo the new superstar duo of the NBA. The two most loyal superstars of the league have finally been united in one team. After all, these are two players that always kept their heads down and never complained about their teams. Right? Well, the reality is often not really as it seems, and right now we're showing how Dame and Giannis have fooled everyone over the last few years. Stay until the end to discover the true face of two of the most beloved stars in the league. Let's start with what could be considered the biggest drama of these last few seasons. One so big that it had the entire league waiting for it to end. I am of course talking about the ever so loyal Damian Lillard forcing his team to trade him. Just think of this, 11 long years of loyal service to the Portland Trail Blazers. That's like a basketball eternity. Dame had been the main man, the savior, the legend of the team. He put Portland on the map with clutch moment after clutch moment. I mean, we are talking about Dame Time himself, a top 75 player of all time, one of the best guards in NBA history. You'd think with all that, the guy would get a little love from the front office, right? Well, not exactly. Dame would time and time again carry the team on his back, even when the front office seemed to be doing everything in its power to make life difficult for him. He has more iconic buzzer beaters in the league than one can name, like the time that he eliminated Houston all by himself or when he sent the entire Thunder franchise into a rebuild. I'm sure that Paul George dreams about this one to this day. Imagine doing all this and the front office still not managing to build a true contender around him. The thing is, Dame always professed his desire to play his whole career in Portland. He even criticized moves to super teams like the Warriors, calling them the easy route. He wanted to be the guy who didn't run from the grind and not join an already established super team like the Warriors. Fast forward to the 2021 playoffs, Portland faced Denver without their star player Jamal Murray, and Dame showed everyone why he was one of the best players of this league, with him having some of the best performances in NBA playoff history. Just imagine, a guy that's so good that the other team's players have to pray so that he misses. He would even have the only 55-point game with double-digit assists in playoff history, all the while setting the NBA playoffs three-pointer record in the same game. And wait for it, he would still lose that game, and ultimately the series. As you could imagine, that was too much even for him, and so he let his anger and discontent show towards the front office, and the struggle for power began. The front office wanted to shift gears and head into a rebuilding phase, but Dame was having none of it. He wanted to win now, but this season, as the team started tanking and Dame desperately tried to force wins, it was too much to handle. Add to that the fact that after landing the third pick in the NBA draft, Dame practically begged his team to trade it for an immediate impact player. Instead, they drafted a young talent in Scoot Henderson. The message was clear. The front office had abandoned any hopes of winning in the near future. So, in this era of player empowerment, what does a superstar do when his dreams of a championship are slipping away? Officially asked to be traded, of course, but Dame took it a step further. He wanted to control his destiny. He pushed for a trade to a specific team, the Miami Heat, which put Portland in a tight spot. When word got out that he'd only consider Miami, it effectively diminished his trade value. I mean, when you have a player openly saying that he would try to get traded from any team not called Miami Heat, that puts their front office in a tight spot. It's like when you're negotiating a trade in your fantasy basketball league and one guy says he'll only trade you a superstar for your entire starting lineup, your bench, and your pet goldfish. Yeah, Dame's request was that specific. Now let's focus on the other side of the picture and talk about the Greek freak himself, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He started as this random guy from Greece that Milwaukee bet on their 15th pick in the 2013 draft, and boy did that bet pay off big time. Remember the pre-extension discourse about how Giannis needed to leave Milwaukee to win and go to a bigger market? Yeah, everyone and their mother had the Greek star go into a bigger market before his big extension. No one thought that Milwaukee could promise enough stability and success to make Giannis stay. The thing is that not only did he stay in Wisconsin but also brought home a championship ring in one of the most dramatic fashions ever. However, as Giannis started piling up the accolades and the jewelry, championship rings not earrings, his stance began to shift. He considered his mission in Milwaukee accomplished by bringing them a title, and now it was the Bucks' turn to help him win even more. He had done his job towards the franchise, and now it was time for the franchise to pay him back. Giannis started playing this double game. On one hand, he would proudly be declaring himself as one of the most loyal stars in the NBA, publicly stating his love for the squad, the town, and his teammates. On the other hand, he was dropping hints to the media that he might reconsider his future if the front office didn't make some moves. This man went to the New York Times and told them that he wasn't planning to sign an extension with the team if they didn't make any moves. This is straight up blackmail. Talk about a low blow! And then there's the whole controversy about roster spots. Giannis was demanding better players, but he also insisted that a team give roster spots to his brothers. It's like your sibling asking for a piece of your cake and then eating half of it when you're not looking. He was sacrificing value roster spots that could, for example, be used as a filler in trade. He wanted the organization to run the way he deemed to see fit. Well, it seems to have worked out well for Giannis, with the Bucks shaping up to be a formidable force. With everything that went down, it seems like we're witnessing the birth of a new dynasty in Milwaukee. So, here we are at the precipice of a new era in the NBA. These two disgruntled stars, Dame and Giannis, are finally united after what seems like an eternity of them trying to find another star to help them in their NBA journey. And it's not like these two players don't know anything about each other. Just remember the last All-Star game where Giannis selected Dame with his first pick, even prompting a small speech about loyalty from LeBron. Talk about predicting the future. All of this, and we still haven't talked about what this duo could give us on the court. Imagine trying to stop a Giannis-Dame pick and roll. You've got Dame's unstoppable outside shot from anywhere in the half court paired with Giannis's incredible presence on the paint. Teams would have to prepare whole game plans just for one of them, and now they'll have to deal with both. I just can't imagine the nightmare that will become for coaches and defenders on a nightly basis. If they're able to mesh well offensively, the only way for teams to stop them would be to pray. Even though we saw that doesn't really work against Dame before. But it's not just the dynamic duo that's making waves in Milwaukee. The Bucks managed to retain most of their important role players. In what is a great power move from the Milwaukee front office, they managed to keep most of their key pieces after this trade. And this brings a whole new dimension to the Bucks both offensively and defensively. Just picture this, you just put all 5 of your players on Giannis and Dame. Well, hard luck for you, because sharpshooters like AJ Green, Bobby Portis, and Chris Middleton will be waiting to punish you. Oh, and if you want to try to overpower the Bucks' defense, just remember that Giannis is a Defensive Player of the Year winner, and that their starting center is none other than Brook Lopez, who just finished second in the Defensive Player of the Year votes this last season. So yeah, good luck getting through that. The Milwaukee Bucks are no longer the underdogs, they're the team to beat. A new dynasty is taking shape in the Cream City, and the NBA world better prepare for a new wave of domination. Giannis and Dame have their supporting cast, they have the talent, and they have the determination. Watch out, NBA, because the Bucks are here to stay and they're hungry for more rings. Well, there you have it, folks. A new era of the NBA is shaping up on the horizon. With this new super duo, the team to beat in the East is clear now. We are also finally seeing Dame in a situation where he could realistically win a ring. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited for the upcoming season. I feel like these Bucks could really do something special. What about you? Do you think that a Dame and Giannis duo would work well? You can leave your thoughts in the comments down below so we can discuss them together.